What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast, coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren, along with his fellow podcast brothers. What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Mike Mills and Daryl D-Dub Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans. This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real, unadulterated sports talk. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel, Sports Chasers Podcast. We can be found on all podcast platforms, plus all social media platforms by searching Sports Chasers Podcast. All information is in our bio. Please be advised, at times there may be some explicit and colorful language. We are the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin L. Warren!
What up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's another Thursday night, another episode 123 of the Sports Chasers Podcast. We're coming to you live and direct. We're here also on YouTube. We got a lot of stuff to get into tonight. Not feeling on my best, but I'm here nonetheless, feeling good. Hey, we're going to go to my left to right. Before we do that, just some of the things we're going to discuss. Of course, we got the NBA playoffs going on. The Nets, oh well. MLB power rankings, the NHL with Dan, the playoffs are upon us. We should be getting into the NHL playoffs. Dan will be talking about that, boxing with Daryl. And we'll talk about we'll be live pretty much going back and forth with the N.F.L. draft, and that's the DA specialty. So he will be giving us his nuggets on the National Football League draft tonight going on in Las Vegas. But without further ado, going from my left to right on my screen, D-Dub, what's up?
Yo, what's up, man? Thursday night, big Thursday night, man. 24 minutes away. Millionaires, young kids become millionaires tonight. So, excited about that. That's going to be a pretty good look. Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about. The Nets, absolute disgrace.
Disgrace.
Yeah, it's a disgrace. So with all, I'll get into that later. But what's good?
Hey, everything's good. Everything's good. Dan, our hockey dude. Dan, what's good, man?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen? How's everybody doing?
Dan got his Avalanche jersey on. I don't know what that means, but
hey, the second season is coming. The real season.
The real season.
Getting pumped up for that. It should be some good series if the hockey gods let them happen.
Well, we thank you, Dan, for coming through with the hockey tip. And also, Dan will be with us the whole show also. Also, we got the DA. DA, what's up, brother?
Gentlemen, the Avalanche jersey, I was kind of wondering what that was about. And, I'm just asking, because I'm like, damn, what? They're going to run you out of Pittsburgh. You can't go back.
No, I got a Penguins jersey too. Just showing some love for the boys.
Okay.
Come to the playoffs.
Yeah, they're looking good. So very good. So good enough. But yeah, I'm here, man. We're gonna try to look into the draft a little bit, and I'm trying to be moderate in my opinions of the playoffs. So I'm actually happy with the NBA playoffs. So I'm very happy.
Oh, DA newsflash is happy with the NBA playoffs. Without further ado, last but not least, on our panel here tonight, we got the angry one, James Eric. What's up?
Gentlemen, what's good? What's good? How y'all
What
doing,
up,
man?
fam?
What's good with you, man?
What up?
Chilling. Damn with the collar. Okay, yeah, we're not even going to discuss that right now. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. We'll go right into the NBA playoffs. On the other night, on Tuesday night, the Boston Celtics swept the Brooklyn Nets 4-0. And since D-Dub was getting in that, we're going to give him 2 minutes on the floor of that series real quick.
Yeah, well, Boston just straight up, they just took him to the woodshed, you know what I'm saying? With the defense, KD was flustered from game 1 and 2, 3. He played good game 4, but, it just wasn't enough. The whole thing, between, Nash, if it was up to me, Nash would be going to, it would be a lot of things going on, changing. Everything, only thing remaining would be KD remaining. Everybody else would be gone. As much as I can, whatever I could possibly do. I know he signed to a long-term deal. He's getting a lot of money, but he seems to be the common denominator of nonsense that goes on everywhere he goes. So, I don't have time for him. If it was KD, if it was Irving or Nash, I'm getting rid of Irving and figure something else out because he's just not. He is just too much stuff with him, as far as I'm concerned. But other than that, you can still got KD, bring some other pieces back around, and try to go from there. But also, KD he has to. We talked about this thing as a leader. A leader, just because you're the greatest or the best player on the team doesn't necessarily make you the leader. We talked about this before on countless times. And Kevin Durant he's a different type of dude. We seen his type before. I think he was talking about Eli Manning. He's not a rah-rah guy. He's not that guy, but he's that guy that gets the job done. So, that's not his personality. But however, you can't have this guy and with this guy, Kyrie Irving, being the guy to run this show because he's proven time and time again that he's just not the guy for it. So, other than that, the Nets they'll probably be back next year. They're still good enough with the players, said players. So, but it's disappoint. I think disappointment is the best I could say. I'll pull back from the disgraceful.
Yeah, because you said disgraceful about 3 minutes ago. Gee whiz. The angry one. What's your thoughts on the Nets and Celtics? Nets in total.
I really don't have much to say about the Nets. That this was a bum season. Anytime you have, let me scale it back a bit to the CFs. For people that don't really understand basketball, all the talk was Lakers and Nets in the preseason, and to have three talented guys as such as KD and Kyrie and James Harden half the season, and then Ben Simmons for none of the season. Your expectations is always going to be high. Anybody that knows basketball knows that when you have all the distractions that you have, it's very hard to overcome that, just as the Los Angeles Lakers. Anyway, I will say I'm not going to spend too much time on the Nets because I know that's the heartbeat of this segment across the world. I'm going to just say that it was like D-Dub said, it was a disappointment. Again, we speak on coaching a lot on Sports Chasers, and there was none to be seen on the Nets bench. No adjustments whatsoever. Your best player is getting bodied, not getting to certain spots, whatever. You then have to get your clipboard out, discuss with your other coaches, and find other ways to get your people more involved and easier baskets. That's what coaches do. I would like to take this time because there is a certain gentleman that is, at least for one series, has risen to the ranks, and that is one Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, your foot, in my opinion, is now in the door of being a superstar. If you continue this play on through these playoffs and on throughout your career, I will be one of the first to, as the Avengers, you are appointed, you are now an Avenger. You are now, in my opinion, at least a superstar. His play was great.
Fantastic.
Didn't score a whole bunch. He figured it out. He still found ways to help his team, and that's what superstars do in my book. It's not all about being the highest paid or being the face. It's all about what you can do, your impact on the game. So Jason Tatum and them boys played great. Shout out to Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown and them boys. They played hard. Al Horford played an intricate role. People going, he didn't fill up the stat sheet. Yo, man, it's the little things that helps a team go about their business. And collectively, the Boston Celtics did what they honestly were supposed to do. They were the better team. So my hat goes off to the Boston Celtics. Salute. And Brooklyn, y'all got a lot of work to do.
By the way, Kev, we're gonna have a hell of a series, man, between Boston and Milwaukee. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's must see TV.
And also to point out, the angry one was talking. I did call Boston to win the series against the Nets. However, I didn't see it in a sweep. So that's the disappointment. Again, didn't see it in a sweep, but shout outs to Boston. They did their thing. They move on. Milwaukee's next. That's going to be a great series. The NBA, the NBA playoffs has been absolutely fantastic first round.
Yeah, the NBA, DA and D-Dub said the NBA playoffs have been really good. I'm going to third that motion. It's definitely been a very good time. The guys is playing defense, and it's definitely been a good time seeing the NBA. DA, what you think about the Nets?
I am in the opposition of the other two. I don't think it was a disappointment for the Nets because I didn't really have any expectations. I didn't think they were going to win.
Wait a minute, brother. You sound like Russell Westbrook now.
I knew it. I said it from you go back 3 weeks ago. I know I said it because I didn't think they was going to win. Why would they win? They only been together 3 weeks. You can't beat a team if you're not a team. Like that's you can't beat a team if you don't have a team. They don't have a team.
Well, the mayor messed up Kyrie and the Nets.
Oh, well, hey, listen, I'm never going to get into that, man, because to me, that's that man's body and that's that man's decision. If he's not going to take the shot, hey, that's on him. Because when history goes back and looks at it, he's not going to be wrong because New York said it's fine. So that's just what the truth is, right? Like we talk about, let history tell the story. I'm not here to do that for you, right? So I think Kyrie can play. I just think they got to figure it out as a team. But the level of defense and defensive intensity that not just came from the quote-unquote stars of the Celtics, but came from Matisse, Williams, light-skinned Williams, dark-skinned Williams. The whole team bought into defense. They bumped them off their spots. They swiped it every time they dribbled. And I got a whole PSA on that. But they showed that great defense is still needed in this league. And you can actually go pretty far playing defense because Boston did not have one great offensive game. Not one. But you know what they did? They didn't let the other so if you can score more than you let the other team score, you win. That's it. Tatum had a great game or two, but that's not even the way he played this season. If anybody watched, he was more in the, kind of triple doubling, scoring, but getting his dudes in places where they could do what they needed to do and let them score. He was building up teams and building up the confidence of guys on his team. So with that being said, I wasn't really disappointed. because I didn't think the Nets were going to beat them. And you know, I heard that a lot of dudes that I saw that were commentating that played in the league, like they didn't see it. You know, like Boston was better; they were ranked higher. Like this is like we all forget and we let people gas us. Well, Boston was 3, right? 2, 3,
2.
So
Two.
why are we surprised when the 2 beats an 8 or a 7?
Because the Nets was not. They're not.
Oh no, they were.
Actually 7.
No.
They're not
Let
actually a
history
7.
tell the story, D.
No, DA.
No. What were they, D? What
It was
number
a
were they?
seven. It was a 7.
I know what that says.
No.
We know
I'm sorry.
it wasn't
Why not?
Listen,
And why not?
when you had James Harden, you had
And
to start
why
off with
not?
the team, and then
Why
you
not?
had this cancer. Your
Why
boy,
not?
your boy Kyrie,
No.
boy Kyrie.
All that stuff there is
this
qualitative.
guy,
Qualitative shit I don't deal in.
Hey, what
all
you say?
I deal with
let
is that
history
they
tell
were
the
a
story.
7.
Let history tell the story.
7, and the other one was a 2.
This guy is a cancer.
You know, that's all it is. That's an opinion, and I got you.
I'm going to let history tell the story, and we're going to revisit this.
Well,
I'm going to tell you.
If I may,
let Eric
let
jump
me
in.
I'm gonna just say this, at least from my side, right? I don't think that it's the whole thing of the 2 and the 7 or anything like that. It is because you have, regardless of how long they play, it's expectations of people, right?
That's true.
And it's not even so much of them getting beat. It's the fact that they got swept when you have the so-called best player, or at least arguably the best player in the league playing. That's all I got.
Okay, listen.
I have no problem Boston beating them or whatever.
It's no problem.
But to lose the way that you lose when you have a KD on your team, that I think that is one of the reasons why you have this outcry.
I'm gonna let it go on this note, right? And listen, I'm we don't do debate shows. I don't do that. So this is what I'm saying. Look, right. First and foremost, I'm gonna let history tell the story. But if you have defense, and this is what I've been saying for years, I said everybody think these guys that are playing now are so great, they're so good, they're this, that, the third. You see what it looks like when defense is played on them, right? And I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Your boy Giannis, he will not dribble the ball this series if they're smart. Because his handle is not as good as Kevin Durant's. And they rip Kevin Durant 5 times a game. Right? So this is what happens when you have someone actually playing defense. That's all.
And coaching.
Since there's no defense in the league, when it comes about, it hits you in the face, you don't know what to do because you haven't seen it for a whole season. You haven't seen it.
Well, D, let me jump in. I think last week I was saying that how KD, some people say he wasn't complaining, but I think he was when they were saying, hey, they coming to half court and picking me up. I said, well, are they not supposed to?
Not in the days NBA.
Well, because they haven't been doing it.
Not in the days NBA.
Yeah, they haven't been doing it. And so it's a surprise when you go 82 games and you haven't seen it, and then you get into the playoffs, and then all of a sudden, whoa.
What did Trae Young say today? I have not been guarded like that since high school.
Hey, man. Hey, one thing we do agree with is defense is the answer here.
True.
The 2 best defensive teams that we see so far has been Miami and Boston as of right now. Now, things can change, but we'll see.
Moving right along. Dan, your thoughts on this series real quick?
Well, we'll just put it up, I'm the CF. So watching these games and seeing some bits and pieces, like I kind of see the argument of both the expectations, but if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but Brooklyn, they had, injuries most of the year. So most of these guys didn't, or Kyrie not being allowed to play. So they didn't get to play together for most of the year. And for this, you say it's a disappointment. I'm looking at the scores of every game that they played. Yes, they got swept, but they got swept by the second seed, the better team. They lost by 1 point, they lost by 7, they lost by 6, and they lost by 4. Not once did they get blown out. So, yeah, the expectations were that for them to win, but they didn't get run out of the gym. What was it? I saw the Atlanta game. They were down 30 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I get, you have KD and the Harden for Simmons trade. I don't know why that ever happened because it's the same thing.
My back.
Yeah. But it's, to me, it's like the better team won. And like DA hit it on the head is, yeah, they played 82 games at the YMCA. And now they're going to go play a game at the state championship level.
Good assessment.
Because they ran into a team that actually said, hey, we can play defense. And that's what they did. And they shut them down, and our good friends started this 3-man team league BS, but they didn't really have that half the year because Kyrie couldn't play and this, that, and the other. So when you got to just shut down one guy or two guys, it makes it a lot easier to play defense. So to me, it just the better team won. They played better defense.
Good point.
And it wasn't that Brooklyn got run out of the gym. It's just they played a team that was better and then played better defense. And that's the thing I think for me watching the regular season, why I can't really do it is it's because it's like watching games in the gym. Nobody plays defense, and it's the fundamentals aren't all there during the regular season, but then you get to the playoffs and, people try to turn it on, but if you haven't done it all year, you don't know what to do. So to me, were they disappointed? Yeah, probably. But, as a team, I don't think they should be that upset over it, that they got swept. They just got beat by a better team.
That's my point. That's my only point. The other team is better. I know they're from Brooklyn, and I know you got the greenies of the world and all these dudes, the Brooklyn Nets. Like, so?
I mean,
like they didn't beat nobody all year.
The play-in game, they only won by 7.
Yeah, I'm like,
they only beat Cleveland by 7. So, I mean, if your expectations that they were going to go in there and win a bunch of games, I mean, you barely beat Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't care about the names, man. Because I've seen better players do worse. So I just knew that if you play defense, you can get these dudes because they dribble high. I tell you one thing, and I'm going to stop. You can watch the whole series, and I bet you will not find one time when Kevin Durant bent his knees. He dribbles with his legs straight. They got no fundamentals. It's not hard. It's really not hard.
Let me move along to the next series. We got to hit this real quick. Miami got rid of Atlanta 4-1. 10 seconds. Eric, what you got?
The team won. Atlanta is everything starts and stops with Trae Young, and if Trae Young is not doing what he does best, then they are going to have a uphill battle against any team. So Miami locked in.
And let me point out that Miami did what? They played defense in the series. Another team that's coached and, they play defense. And this is what you got. So, D-Dub.
Miami did what Miami did. They, that's a team that they are a sneaky team, but they've been playing good all year long. So, shout outs to them. And they is exactly what we was talking about, or what we've been talking about, the defensive intensity and what they've done without Jimmy Butler. And I think Kyle Lowry was out the other night. So, I mean, that's impressive. They got rid of Atlanta. It's a step back for Trae Young. Trae Young, still a great player, but he's going to learn from this, and he's going to come back, better. But other than that, Miami moves on, and we're going to have another good series between them and whoever comes out of the Toronto-Philadelphia series here.
Yeah, that series is 3-2. I'm gonna kind of go express here because we got to get to the draft here.
Draft
Yeah,
is
Philly
3 minutes.
leading the series 3-2. They're actually playing. I don't have that score on my screen.
I got it. That is right now. Hold on 1 second. I think Philly was up.
Yeah, Philly was up. The game just started pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee got rid of
50-48. Actually, Raptors second quarter, 4:50 to go.
Doc Rivers, real quick, and I'm not trying to.
Doc Rivers gonna lose his job if they lose tonight.
I mean, you can't be up 3-0 and lose, man. And
if they lose the series, Doc
is
Rivers. I know he went down his list of
did
his
you hear this
jobs
morning?
and listen, Doc's the name. Doc's gonna be your final. Philadelphia will be your final wrestling because you don't get the job done here.
Well, they got two. They got 2 more games to.
Sure, yeah, it's still
So
I'm not
Philadelphia leads the
Doc
series, and they're down in the game here. The game's in Toronto, like DW said in the second quarter, 50-48. Milwaukee got rid of Chicago in in 5. They won 4 games to 1.
I told you, relax.
Milwaukee and Boston. That's going to be a very good series. Let me go to the West. Golden State got the Denver Nuggets out of there 4-1. Golden State, hey man, they just continue to do the little things and the fundamental things to win basketball games. In Denver, hey, they was not the better team. Anybody got any thoughts on the Denver and Golden State series?
Golden State can shoot.
Golden State, man, that Jordan Poole, man, wherever they got him from, and
Michigan.
I mean, this guy, he's definitely in the gym and is improving daily. Guy's gonna be a problem. If Steph is. Whenever the Steph decides to, or Golden State decides to go in another direction,
I just want to say
that's good.
Real quick that Golden State, at least to me, is the epitome of how basketball should be ran in this league. From top to bottom, you bring guys in, you have a coach that guys buy into. They have a vision, and it's special when you have a coach to best player on the team that is 1A and 1B, and everybody else falls into place. That's what you have out there in Golden State, in my opinion. And it shows you got these new players coming up. Just wait till Wiseman gets healthy. If they don't trade him, that's yeah. Golden State did exactly what they were supposed to do. No disrespect to Denver or anything like that. Denver had a lot of injuries too. And it's almost like Brooklyn and Boston. You got one guy trying to do everything, and he at least he had his numbers. He tried his best or whatever, but it just wasn't good enough, man. He was lost to a superior team.
Appreciate that, E. Dallas is leading their series with Utah 3-2. Phoenix is up 3-2. They're the number 1 seeds over New Orleans.
Let's get to the best series of the whole playoffs.
Which is, you're saying
Memphis and Minnesota. I said it right here a couple of weeks ago. I begged people, if you are tired of the current NBA and all the hoopla, please watch these young teams and give them a chance. They have been putting on a show. Now,
facts.
You have a little bit of immaturity. That's what you're going to have with young teams. Minnesota really should have got Memphis out of here, honestly. But they, again, coaching and all that hand in hand. Now you got Memphis up, and probably it may go 7, but just to me, at least, this was the best series in the playoffs thus far.
By far. It starts coming, man. The future of the NBA is in that series right there.
Absolutely.
Why is that, DA? Go elaborate. Give me 30 seconds on that.
Ant-Man and Ja Morant. Ant-Man ain't even in shape, man. Right? Understand when he starts to take care of his body. It's a problem. He jumps out the gym today. Has a mid-range, a handle, and a 3 game. Tries to play defense, and he'll get better at that. The reality is, that's where the future is, man. Ja Morant, and I know guys say, oh, Ja, you're going to get hurt. like Derrick Rose, whatever. You only live one time, man. Play and get the checks, man. You know, chicks dig the long ball. Do what you need to do, my brother. Make it happen. Don't listen to these dudes on TV. Keep playing defense. Keep running towards the smoke. You know, keep making it do what it do. You know, keep making it do what it do. Offensive lineman. That's my bet. You call my bookie. Yo, Jimmy, old lineman, 300. Yeah, go ahead. I don't know which one, but an old lineman's going.
Gotcha. So we finished up the NBA segment here. There's gonna a lot be said. We'll get back with NBA next week. Or if we got time afterwards, I'm pretty sure we probably won't. Dan, with the NHL. Dan, what you got for the NHL this week for us, sir?
Well, like I said, we're getting to the nitty gritty here. A couple games left. I think they finish up Sunday's the last game, but that's Winnipeg and the Kraken. It doesn't matter. I think it's a COVID makeup game. But we're getting to that point where most of the seedings are set. And like I was saying earlier, I hope the hockey gods shine on us and let some of this happen, because some of these games I watched the other day was at Calgary and Nashville. And that was such a good game. Physical fights, hitting, and talking smack between the benches after the game. The Chuck had his stick out, like, "Hey, you want me to sign my stick for you, Duchesne?" You know, starting to trouble. So, you know, the same teams are pretty much in the same position they are, like the Florida, Colorado. Mind you, this is back in the day with Joe Sakic, Forsberg, Foote, Blake, and Patrick Waugh. So, you know, you got to give some love to the boys. You know, their team's looking a lot like that old team. Carolina's still doing good. The only question I have with some of these teams is the late season injuries. Like Carolina, Freddie Anderson got hurt. I think it was the same night that Tristan Jarry got hurt for the Penguins. And then I think Ante Bronta, the backup, he got dinged up, but I think they're both day to day. I think Bronta might be playing tonight. But, you know, they solidified their position and winning the Metro. And then you got the Flames, which, you know, a lot of these Western Conference teams, the Canadian teams, don't get much love because of the East Coast bias, and nobody really is talking about them. But I think them and Colorado are probably the two favorites to come out of the West.
Yeah.
And then Toronto's behind. You know, they've been playing really good. Austin Matthews is going bonkers. I think he scored his 60th the other night. And I think that might be the record for American-born players. And then, you know, this next little gaggle, like the Rangers, Tampa, Minnesota, St. Louis, and the Oilers, they're all kind of in the same kind of bunch. You know, the Rangers, they tried their best to catch Carolina, but they're not going to do it. And like I said, hopefully the hockey guys shine on us, because the way it's looking, we've got the Penguins have one game left. We got 101 points. Washington has 2 games left. They have 100. And that's the battle of the basement for the wild card. So I'm thinking, you know, unless Washington throws this so they don't have to play the Rangers, it's going to be us in the wild card playing against Florida.
Rangers.
And the Rangers and the Rangers, I hope to God this happens. They'll get Washington. And Mr. Tom Wilson. And then we can have a little 7-game series of ragdoll
fights every night. Night.
Got to get his, you know what, beat.
That's my first. You know, hopefully that happens. Like I said, the other one I want Calgary and Nashville to play, because I think that'd just be a brutal series. The St. Louis, Minnesota, I think that's going to be a really good series, because that's a lot of heavy guys hitting, getting physical. Who else? And, you know, if it works out that way, that, you know, Washington does pass us, that means, you know, the Bruins are going to play the Canes. And here's kind of like what I was talking the last time about the playoff format, where they take the 2 division winners and 2 wild cards, and then second and third place in each division, they make it in above the wild card. Well, Boston's got 105 points right now. There's no way the Penguins can catch them, and there's no way the Capitals can catch them. Right. But they're the wild card team. So now they're going to have to play Carolina, when in reality, that should be either Pittsburgh or Washington playing them, not Boston. So Carolina wins the division, and what's their prize?
Reward. Yeah.
They get to play the Boston Bruins.
Which is with an
which is
injured
kind of
player.
crazy.
Yeah, not what you want to do.
In the West, it kind of worked out where the points fell where they're supposed to, and nobody really got that bump. But like I said, like the important thing coming into the playoffs is going to be injuries. Like I said, Jerry, lower body injury, might be a broken foot. He might not be available until late first round, or if we get past the first round in the second round. So that means Casey Smith's got to step up, and Louis Dominguez, our backup. It's not looking good. And then you got Ovechkin for Washington. He was playing Toronto the other night on a breakaway. Goalie kind of tripped him. Should have been a penalty, but he went shoulder.
Kind of tripped him.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it's Washington. I'm not going to give him that love. But yeah, he went in shoulder first to the boards, and he's been day to day. I think they're just going to rest him until the playoffs. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. But same with UC Saros, the goaltender for Nashville. He got a lower body injury against Calgary the other night. I think he'll just sit until the playoffs start, because there's nothing really to gain for any of these teams. They're pretty set where they're at, who they're playing, other than us in Washington flip-flopping the wild card position. That's really the only thing that matters. And really, Nashville would have to win probably both the last two games and hope that Dallas doesn't get a point in their last game. And I think they both play, like one plays Anaheim and the other one plays Arizona. So it's pretty much a dub for either one of them. So I think that's just going to stay the same. But yeah, we're at that point now where a lot of these teams are going to rest a lot of people. I think the Avalanche kind of slowed the roll here at the end of the season, try to keep people healthy. Hopefully that they'll get Landeskog back when the playoffs start, so they'll be healthy and ready to make that run. And it's like, I was looking, and I think it was 2013 was the last team to win the President's Trophy for the best team in the league and win the Stanley Cup. And that was the Chicago Blackhawks. And then I think before that was 2008 with Detroit Red Wings. So you really don't want to get that President's Cup, because it's pretty much a kiss of death. And that's Florida.
Yeah. KOD.
So let me, Dan, for those. So let me go over a couple of glossary terms here on this show. So CS, for those that don't know what CF stands for, we're not cussing at you. We're just saying casual fan. That's basically what that is, a casual fan. And Dan, if you would just walk us through some of because a lot of people don't watch hockey, and we're trying to draw those people in. Hey, hockey's a wonderful sport, especially in person. If you've never seen hockey, go check it out in person. TV doesn't give its justice. It really doesn't.
Fast.
What happened? Oh, fast. Sorry.
Fast. Very fast. Very fast.
So Dan, also explain some of the terms like the President's Trophy, the Hart Trophy. What are those terms some people might not know about?
So it's kind of like football and baseball, where you have different awards for the regular season. So like their President's Trophy is the top point getter team in the entire league. So that would be Florida with 120. And then you have like the Hart Trophy, which is the most valuable player, whether it be offense, forward, defenseman, goalie, doesn't matter, which usually ends up going to a forward. But then you have like the Vezina trophies for the best goalie. Then you have like the Selke for the top defensive player, least penalized, and you have those. And then like of course, you got the Stanley Cup, which is what you get for winning the whole thing. But like we were talking, Kev, like this year, I think there's a real good chance that, Siskarkin for the Rangers should get some real, love for the Hart Trophy, because looking at their team, if it wasn't, he didn't play the way he played, and he had a monster season, like a .935 save percentage, 2.07 goals against or something like that, six or seven shutouts. I mean, the backup's not bad, but they didn't win like that when he was in that. They've been playing lights out with Siskarkin. So I think it's probably going to be him. I think you're going to have Matthews getting some love for his 60 goals, which he's going to win the Rocket Richard Trophy, which is top goal scorer. And then I think McDavid will probably be in the mix too, because he's got like 120, 121 points. Hell, he put up 4 against us the other night.
Oh, you say generally they don't like to give that award to goalies.
It happens,
Right.
but it doesn't happen often. Because
Okay.
let's see. So what was it? Carey Price was the last one to win in 14-15.
And he played for who?
The Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, correct.
Then you have to go all the way back to 96, 97, where Dominic Hasek won it back to back when he was with Buffalo. So since 95 to now, 2 goalies have won it. All the rest have been pretty much Pronger won it. He's a defenseman. Let's see. Pretty much everybody else is a forward. Yeah. Yeah. So it's very rare that a goalie gets that award. But I think he was the MVP of the Rangers for one, how he played. And you know, there wasn't the expectation that they would be battling for the Metro title this year. They were kind of putting the piece together, trying to build a team to get to that point, but he kind of accelerated that. And that's why they made some of the moves they did at the trade deadline, because they realized that they had the opportunity to maybe go far this year without giving up prospects, draft picks, and that kind of thing, where they didn't have to go bonkers to try to win. They're still building and they're going in the right direction. So we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out at the end of the year. But like I told you, Kev, I said it's going to go to Matthews or McDavid. It just will.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this also, Dan. Who you think is your predictions right now? Who you think is coming from each conference right now?
Well, looking at the matchups,
because that's important.
Yeah.
Right?
So as if it started today, Florida would play Washington, Carolina would play the Bruins, Tampa and Toronto, which that'll be a banger series because Tampa just smoked their ass in Florida the other day, and it was not good. Like it was getting heated. And then you would have us playing the Rangers. And then, like I said, the only flip flop is going to be whether Washington plays the Rangers or we do.
Right.
But I would say, like I said, I want to say Florida, but if they win the President's Trophy, yeah, they might get out of the first round, but I don't think you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. I think Tampa still, they won it back to back. They know how to win in the playoffs. They're playing well at the right time. They went through a little bit of a funk, and now they're starting to play good, putting up 6-7 goals a game. So, and they're beating good teams, Toronto, Florida. So that's kind of like, I like Tampa Bay.
So,
but depending on how things go, injuries go, that'll change the whole thing. Because if Freddie Annister comes back from Carolina and they play the Bruins, that's going to be a brutal series for both teams. And then whoever makes it out of that has to play the next round. They're going to be, I think, in a lot worse shape than, say, some of the other teams that get to like whoever plays us is pretty much going to win in 4 games, I think, if we have to play with our backup goalie. Because lately we just can't score. Like we have a million chances, hit pipes, the whole 9 yards. It's not going to happen. But out of the East, I would say probably Toronto, Florida, and then in the West, I like Colorado. My dark horse is going to be Minnesota. I like the way they've been playing and the additions that they made, and they're a tough physical team. Like they got Foligno, they got Greenway, big guys that like to play physical. So they're gonna wear some teams down. And like Edmonton, I think they're just gonna cakewalk over the Kings. And then the other one, I think the team that I really like is Calgary. And like I said, they haven't got the love, but they've got, I think, 4 guys that got over 100
East
points.
Coast bias, that's why.
Well, they play 10:30 at night.
Yeah,
people on the East Coast aren't paying attention to it. But like I said, when I watched that Nashville game the other night, like I think you'd be able to look up on YouTube the highlights of that game because Milan Lucic, he blew up Duchesne along the board.
But Steve wasn't even looking at him, man. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
he almost killed him.
But that went back to something earlier in the game.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
That because he tried to spear, I think, to Chuck later. It was either later in the game or not. Because, like I said, that game got really heated, and I really love to see those two teams play together because if they play like 5-6 games, they're both going to be black and blue after that. But like I said, I think Calgary is kind of like the team I think that has all the components. They're gritty, they're nasty, they play physical, their goaltending's playing really well. They got a good D, and then of course Colorado. But like I said, all these teams that finish really high in the standings, they kind of coast at the end to try to preserve players, get them healthy. And then you get in the playoffs and try to turn it back on again. It gets a little bit difficult because the other teams that they're playing, like a lot of these lower teams have been playing playoff hockey for the last month.
Yeah.
Trying to get in.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's I think probably, I like Tampa and I'd probably go out on a limb. It might be Minnesota's year.
I'm just saying, Dan, Steve wasn't even looking at him. He was like looking up at the crowd. And he got hit in the back.
Yeah, but did you see how far his helmet went up in the air when he hit him? He flattened his ass. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead, DA. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I was like, I thought it was going to be more penalty than that, but it's getting to playoff hockey, so I think everything changes, referees included.
Yeah, they get a little bit more go, but it's going to get a lot more physical. There'll be a lot more scrums, gloves to the face, the face wash and all that good stuff. And like I said, Kevin, you said it, there's nothing like watching a game in person because it's completely different because it's so fast, it's so physical, and the players, you got Gaudreau for Calgary, he's probably like 5'6", 5'7", and then you got guys like Char at 6'9". So you got just all these different dynamics, but they all can skate and
tanks on skates.
Yeah.
So, but the playoffs, it's a different animal. Like this is like the hockey's good during a regular season, but it goes to the next level when it comes to the playoffs. And a lot of these teams don't like each other, and
genuinely don't like each other.
Yeah. Right. Like it's like I said, after
it's not made up.
The Calgary Nashville game and how heated it was, and for a game that didn't mean shit for Calgary, but they were so into it and it was so intense that I was like, man, I hope to God these two play each other. And like I said, and like the Tampa Toronto series, I think that's going to be another good one because I don't think that I think Matthews missed that game, but even if they had him, they were getting smoked.
Right.
I mean, this Tampa, they played so well, but that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see who these matchups are. And I think it starts Monday night. I believe that the second is when it starts. So it'll be must watch TV. The only problem is going to be where the game's at, what channels. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them will probably be on the ESPN.
Johnny Come Lately is back. So ESPN is going to be
TNT, I think. And what's the other station at TNT? Is it TBS that they own too?
TBS, yeah.
So it'll probably be on those three.
Let me say this because Dorian, and we're going to move on to baseball. I think TNT and TBS has done a phenomenal job with their hockey coverage.
Absolutely.
The NHL, like DA says, now they Johnny Come Lately. It's kind of like that girl, used to date. And, she wasn't all that. Now she got all hot, and now here you come. In the words of the late great Biz Markie, you got the vapors, caught the vapors. So, here comes the ESPN with that, man. But Dan, one more thing about hockey, real quick. You said the playoffs. Do the refs swallow the whistle like other sports and other things, so to speak? Playoff hockey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to be completely honest. So a lot of they're going to call the hooking and the slashing and stuff like that. But where they're going to kind of turn the blind eye is, when the puck goes to the goal and he covers up and a bunch of people start pushing and shoving, you get, the hand in the face and all that kind of good stuff. That stuff is very important for the players that play between the whistles. When the whistle goes, stop the shenanigans, because that's usually the second guy gets caught. But as far as like, a lot of the, I would say, ticky-tacky penalties that they call during the regular season, that'll kind of go by the wayside. There'll be, they'll let people kind of like, when the puck's going in, they'll skate in front of the guy and slow down to interfere with them, but not really interfere. Yeah. And they, a lot of times they call that stuff. Yeah. A lot of that stuff will go, but like your egregious stuff, your stick work, hooking, high sticks, the automatic penalties when you shoot the puck out your own defensive end and it doesn't hit anything and you put it into the stands, delay a game, that stuff they're getting a call, because you cannot call that.
Right.
Like I said, the scrums and stuff, they'll probably be a little, unless it starts getting really out of hand, then they'll start taking, usually they take both. Or if they really want the easiest way to knock that shit off is you got, constantly every whistle, gloves to the face or whatever, you just take one guy. Because then it's like, oh shit, they're not going to get him. Now we're on, because there's 7 games in this series, and it could come down to one power play in that game. It's the difference between you winning and losing. So by you taking that penalty, going sitting in the box, you give the other team the power play, they score, bang, you lost the game. So, that's how they, they'll pretty much let them play. But if once it starts getting to that point, a lot of times they'll take either 2, or to get it to, stop immediately, they'll just start taking 1 and putting people on the power play.
Right. Cool. That is our hockey dude, Dan, with hockey, with the NHL rundown, and the playoffs are about to begin, man. So we're excited for the playoffs. We thank Dan for offering his hockey insight. He's always on point with it. With that said, we're going to go to the next segment real quick. I'm going to go express. We live in New York City. This is the express train. The next stop is 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Stand clear of the closing door. Do MLB. Major League Baseball, real quick, is in its 3rd season. Not a lot of changes. The Dodgers, according to CBS Sports Power 25 rankings, the Dodgers are number 1 with their 12.
There's a lot of changes.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes. I'm sorry. Yeah, Eric, you're right.
Chicago.
Let me get to Chicago.
My bad.
Cody Bellinger, he's doing his thing. Had 2 home runs on Sunday. The Dodgers are still number 1 in the power rankings. You got the what?
Yo, real quick, that boy's swing is beautiful.
Oh,
all right, go back to what you're doing.
That left hand swing is yeah. Him and Freddie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Mets. The Mets are 14-6. They're doing it despite DeGrom being hurt. The Mets bats are waking up, or no, they've been playing well all season. They really have. Yeah. So they really have. The San Francisco Giants, they're 13-6. They're number 3. The Blue Jays are 13-7. The Cardinals are 10-7. They had a real good 80s, 90s series with the Mets here the last couple of days, man. They was hitting each other, and I don't know what that was about, but the Mets and Cardinals is a good series, man. So the Cardinals are 10-7. They're number 5, ranked number 5. The Seattle Mariners are 8-2 in their last homestand. They're 11-8 overall. They're number 6. The DA's San Diego Padres.
Moving on up.
They're 4 spots up from the last week. So the Yankees, they're 13-6. They're number 8. They moved up 6 positions. They've been playing real well, but they're beating up on bad teams, though. They swept the Orioles this week.
That's what we got to do. Boy. When you're sick, take a couple Oreos.
Well, to be fair, though, the opposition has been having to dodge water bottles and beer bottles.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead. Get your 15 minutes of fame. Go ahead.
No, I just want to know how I don't know. I just think when a player gets hurt, whether it's on your team or the other team, I think it's a little bit classless to, give him the business while he's down and hurt. And the disturbing thing was, okay, so that's fine. They're having the argument in left field. But then nobody throws anything at him. They're throwing it at the guy in right field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that makes no sense whatsoever, because this guy had nothing to do with what happened over here. So, like, to me, it was embarrassing. I would think if you're a Yankee fan, to have that happen in your ballpark.
Yeah, we don't condone that nonsense, Dan. We don't.
The last time I saw that was when they threw batteries at Dave Parker at Three Rivers Stadium.
Can't do that.
Cannot
do that.
But go ahead. You can go back onto your baseball thing. Sorry.
Thank you, Dan. The Rays are number 9. The Tampa Bay Rays are number 9. They're 11-8. The Colorado Rockies are 10-9. They're number 10. The Milwaukee Brewers are 13-7. They're number 11. The Anaheim Angels are 12. They're 13-7 through the third week. The Houston Astros, number 13. They're 10-9. The Minnesota Twins are 11-8. They are ranked number 14th. The Red Sox are ranked number 15th, and I'll just read off the others. The Marlins are 16, Braves are 17, Guardians are 18. The White Sox, number 19. Yeah, they down 5 spots from last week. A's 20, Phillies 21, Tigers 22, Pirates 23. Hooray for Dan. Hey, they lost like by 3 touchdowns the other day to the Chicago Bears. I thought, the Bears and the Steelers were playing.
But we came back the next day and won.
There you go.
Hey, we only need, 55 more wins?
There you go.
And we're there. And then Milwaukee came into town and swept us. I think they won the last 3 games.
You got the Cubs 24, the Orioles 25, Royals 26, Rangers 27, Diamondbacks 28, the Nats are 29, and the Cincinnati Reds are 30, man. So
are horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that team. My goodness.
What was that, Eric? The Reds?
Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
They got 3 wins.
The owner said in front of everyone, we ain't trying to win. What do you people think this is?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this paper, man. So, man, that's our Major League Baseball segment here. Sorry we had to speed through it a little bit, but we'll get back to Major League Baseball next week. But with that said, without further ado, hey, it's the National Football League. They're on the clock tonight. They're going to talk about the draft. We got our own draft expert, draft guru, during the DA Albritton. He's going to drop his gems and his nuggets. I'm going to get his opinion. We're going to get our opinion on the first 2 picks. We got the first 2 picks already. So let me, the Jaguars, 3 picks. Excuse me. Trayvon Walker went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a defensive lineman. He went number 1. The Lions Tigers. The Lions pitched edge rusher from Michigan, Aiden Hutchinson. Yes. And now the Houston Texans just picked up Derek Stingley. So, DA, we're going to, for all our fans that are watching, we're going to get the picks. Sorry, we don't have no music for, when they get picked. We'll work on that. But, DA, I'm going to introduce the pick, and DA is going to do his thing, and the panel's going to go around and give their expression. So, DA, you're on the clock, our draft expert and guru. What you think about the Jags' first pick, Trayvon Walker from the University of Georgia?
Good pick. He got a higher ceiling than Hutchinson. They'll actually be moving him from linebacker. He's an outside linebacker in college. So they'll probably be moving him from linebacker to actually a real live 4-3 DN. I think he's fine. He got long arms. He's fast, strong from what I've seen. I think it was a good pick. I think either one of those guys would have been good picks for them. But I would take an offensive lineman because you got to keep old boy standing up. So I guess they'll try to fix that later on.
I was about to say, I'm shocked that they did not pick an offensive lineman to protect their wonderful asset in Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe they think what they got in free agency, because that's usually it. You try to build a team. So you're saying, listen, we're going to get offensive linemen in free agency that can already play rather than get a youngster that may be good in a few years, but right now he's going to get a quarterback killed. So, so Hutchinson, great player, played in Michigan, so he's kind of going to stay right there, and he's going to get effort because that coach demands effort with the Lions, and they played hard all last year. So he's going into, believe it or not, a great atmosphere for a young player in Detroit. So I like that. And Stingley didn't play last year. He was hurt. I think he had Liz Frank, or it was the ACL. It might have been Liz Frank. But he didn't play last year. Year before that, he's an all-world DB. He can really play. He's fast. He's big. He can tackle. He's not afraid of tackling. But we just got to see how things work coming from that year off.
So he's coming from LSU. Do you think that the Texans, they could have used a pass rusher or probably a tackle?
Probably, but I don't know if they're trying to win right now. They might be just trying to build something. So trying to build one side of the ball, you take the best player available. So
let me ask you this football question. I'll address it to the panel too. For football, if you're a general manager, outside in or inside out, how do you build a team?
Inside out.
Inside out all the time.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, it's inside out. I mean, regardless of who you got, you may have some flashy guy throwing the ball. You may have some flashy guys that catch it one-handed and all this other stuff. You may have an outstanding running back. But if you don't have that foundation on that line, on offense and on defense, all of that doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? You could have the best corner in the world, but if the corner is following the receiver all across the field, guess what? There's 4 quarters. He's going to get gassed. If you don't put no pressure on the quarterback, that quarterback is going to be out on the island. So it's levels to this, man. But I would definitely say inside
out. Dan, your thoughts inside out? You think about the Lions and the Jaguars first pick and the Texans.
Well, like Eric was saying, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm offensive line, defensive line, and work your way out. Because you could see on our team, we had no offensive line.
Who's your team, Dan? Some people might be listening the first time. Who's your team, sir?
The Steelers. Okay. But anyway.
Say it with pride.
I did.
That's as much pride as he got. No.
But we were just god awful on the offensive line. And we couldn't run the ball. I mean, we did, but it was maybe 40, 50 yards, 60 yards a game. We had Najee Harris. He couldn't really go off because there's really no holes for him. And they ran him to death. If he has to do that a couple more years, he ain't going to be around much longer after taking all those hits. And you saw in the offseason, I think we've signed 3 or 4 linemen already who are probably going to draft some more. I would almost bank on it. And, and the same thing with our defensive line. Like, our defense is good, but it goes with Hayward, and whatever they're going to do with Stephon Tuitt. But you got to have pressure on the quarterback, and you got to be able to protect the quarterback. That's like the 2 most important positions. Because for the longest time, we had the probably worst secondary in the league.
Yeah.
But we had one of the best pass rushes. So we got to the quarterback and made him throw it before. And that's what made us look okay. Like right now, this like with Hayden and Fitzpatrick, that's probably the best backfield or secondary that we've had since Troy Polamalu was there and Carnell Lake and the guys. But you can cover up that if you can get to the quarterback.
Right.
And as you saw most of the time, when we played Tom Brady, when he gets the ball out so fast, we'd get there, but the ball would be gone.
Yeah.
And he would just, torch us. So that to me, that's any team. You got Trevor Lawrence down there in Jacksonville. Well, it ain't going to do him any good if he's looking at the star. Look at the stars.
Looking at the sky every time.
Because it doesn't matter who you have back there. If you can't block the rush, all the plays are going to be busted because he's not going to have time for the guy to go out and make a cut. And the same thing at East Point. You could draft. Like if you have an established team with both good offense and defense, but you might be a little bit weak on a cornerback, or you might be weak at receiver, then you take the best available player at that position because that's what you need. But for like a lot of these teams that are struggling, you gotta get some linemen on either side of the ball, unless there's really that dynamic player in the top 5. Like I think Walker and Hutchinson are going to make impacts on both of those teams. So I'm not against them doing what they did. But I think, we'll see. What I'm interested to see is 5-7.
5-7.
See what they think that they need.
Well, they're on the clock, 5-7, as we speak.
And number 6 is going to be important for me.
Well, number 6, Ahmad Gardner went from the cornerback from Cincy, went to the Jets. Draft guru, DA, your thoughts on the Jets, on them? Unmute your mic, sir.
Yeah, he's the best DB in the draft. He's 6 foot something, I think 6'2", 6'3", runs a subpar 4.5 40. He likes to hit. I know he played for Cincinnati, but he's the dude that follows the best receiver all the way around the field. Like he'll just take him and he'll, But the other one on the other side is almost as good as he is. I can't remember that dude's name, but Cincinnati had 2 really good DBs, and I think he's going to be fine with the Jets. The Jets actually did have a good offensive line last year. It was pretty good, and their defensive line wasn't bad either. So, kind of what Dan's saying, I think they're thinking if we can slow up the receivers, we can get more sacks. So they don't have all-star D linemen, but they got some guys that if you give them another second, they'll be at the quarterback's front door. So I don't think it's a bad move by the Jets.
So with that said, the Jets, they play in the AFC East. This will give them the opportunity, not the opportunity, but this will give them more leverage to stop the likes of Josh Allen.
That's it.
Plays in that
stop
division.
right there. That's it. And Tyreek is there now, right? That Tyreek is with Miami.
Yeah.
And Waddle from Alabama is with Miami. So you got to have DBs, and you can't stop them.
You can only hope to
slow them down.
You slow them down though, and you let your linemen get to those quarterbacks, then you're in a good place. So
and hey, not for nothing. Judging by this guy's build, seeing some of the highlights. Using all types of schemes and blitzes and stuff like that. He comes off the corner. Hey man. You got a defensive-minded coach with the Jets, man. I'm sure he's gonna draw up a whole lot of he and his coach is gonna draw up a whole lot of schemes. Just a vision, man. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say anything. But yeah, I think this was a good pick by the Jets. I get sidetracked, man. This is the draft. Yeah. Stay focused. Okay.
Stay focused. Dan, what you got on the Jets pick?
I think this is one of the dudes that we were really high on. That we wanted to get, or it's the I can't think of his name either. The other dude, but yeah, that's dude's 6'3", 190.
Yeah,
I think, and like you said, for the Jets, they're pretty solid, on the offensive line and stuff. But this guy, I think, you got Tyreek Hill, Waddle, you got to cover these guys, and then you got Diggs and Buffalo. Yeah, I mean, if you want to compete with those teams, you got to be able to slow them down.
Yeah, indeed. And may I just go ahead and say we talked a lot about defense here on this segment. The first 4 picks were all defensive players. First time since 1991. Only the second time that the first 4 picks have been defensive players in the NFL draft. Take it away, Kevin.
Man, my New York Giants are on the clock. They say the pick is in.
Kev, do you have somebody that knows how to give mouth to mouth or something over there? Because if this is a pick that does not,
the Jets need to pick. Giants need to pick an O lineman. Period. Yeah. I don't want to get.
I think both picks should be O lineman, honestly. But
they're gonna pick a punter.
They're gonna
Man, stop, please stop. They're gonna run the show. If they pick a punter, you're gonna have to run the show. Please, I'm just gonna log off, man.
They're gonna it's gonna be either the cat from North Carolina State or Alabama.
Yeah, the dude Evan Neal from Alabama. Yeah, he's like ranked number 1 or 2 in the draft, I believe.
Yeah, but the kid from North Carolina State is almost.
The Giants go defense. Take it away, Dorian.
Oh, man.
Kayvon
Thibodeau
from Oregon.
All right.
A DM from Oregon.
He's pretty good.
He's a quick twitch dude. Not really big. Good size though.
He's 6'4", 254.
Yeah, so that's like a linebacker size of the NFL. But coming off the edge, quick dude. He can play. Now if they, I guess, to them, they saying this is what they need. They, best. They may just be going best player available. So sometimes you gotta look at that.
Okay, I trust that because the Giants' new general manager came from the Bills, and they kind of built something special up there in Buffalo. So we shall see. Yeah, it looks like they picked
the process.
They trust the process. Don't jump out the window the first night. But yeah, I absolutely would have lost if Dan, jokingly said they would have picked a punter or whatever at number 5. But
maybe 7.
And to be honest, the Giants do need a pass rush. The pass rush was
awful. It's been awful for the last couple of years. The Giants have had no pass rush. As a Giants fan, I look every time the quarterback is just standing in the back and he's just standing. He's like, remember when he was playing 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Go ahead, DA.
Yeah, but like Dan was saying, the pass rush is not just the pass rush. So if you got great DBs, and you hold them up a little bit longer, then what do you get? You get guys that are B-level pass rushers with 8, 9, 10 sacks on a year,
right.
and you get your salary cap in place because you don't got to spend money on a big time pass rusher because this is a get paid dude in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that in 5 years, if he does what he's supposed to do, he is a big paid dude. So it's kind of pick your poison.
So my question is, does the Giants play a 4-3 or 3-4?
They're gonna play a 4-3.
Yeah, the Giants play 4-3.
Now
the coordinator they got from Buffalo, what do they run?
Dude. They ran the 4-3 now.
4-3, yeah.
Because I was gonna say, like, if you do kind of like the 3-4, this dude looks like he could be your guy at the outside linebacker.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But they don't. I don't know if he has. We'll see.
That speed to do it, or
stout enough to hold the edge.
Right.
When they run that sweep at you, you gotta be able to
he gonna get bodied at 254, man. I don't think he's more speed than strength.
You got to stand up that tight end and not give him that edge. So, and offensive coordinators are going to try you. So they're going to try you. So
right.
We'll know early. You'll know real early if he can hold the weight or not. But I don't expect him to play every down either because he's a rookie.
Yeah, I was going to say that he's more of a third and long type of.
And you got to understand too that like he's got to get in the facility. They're going to be training. He's probably going to bump up another 15, 20 pounds, over the next season or two. Yeah. Like once he gets in there and gets into the regimen of the team.
Yeah.
And the, gets in the weight room. I mean, this isn't, like we were talking, somebody that's going to come right in that you're going to play every down. It's, a star guy right off the get go. Like this year, I don't think really was there really a lot of guys that were, impact come in, play every down.
I don't see many, if any.
Not this draft. I don't think so.
And I think they're building. They know what they want to do on defense, and they're going and finding the players that they think best fit that scheme. And not just for this year, but probably over the next couple seasons, that they're building towards something, to get to that point, to where they are dominant on defense.
But I do think this is a good draft, though. A lot of people, poo-poo it because they don't have great quarterbacks, but
it can't be great quarterbacks every year.
I don't think they're great quarterbacks any year. So
you got to develop them, right?
It's been a long time since you had the rookie come out and do it.
You got to have some continuity, right? Right, E?
That's right. You already know.
Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Their pick is in.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick.
Go ahead.
Leading up, I'll start with you, Kevin. What do you, if you are the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, what are you looking at?
I think you need an offensive lineman to protect what's his name. If you're going to have him as quarterback, you need to get an O-line for him. Period. You need to protect the quarterback. When we say inside out, it's how you build a team. Yeah. I think they got to go with one of those guys. I think Neil would be a good pick if they pick him up.
Neil from Charlotte too.
That's wow. So
I didn't even know that.
yeah.
No, I'm not Neil. I'm sorry, Equano. Cat from North Carolina State.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But be interesting to see. Go ahead. Anybody else? Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is going to determine. I really think what the Steelers do at 20, and this is going to tell you a lot about where Carolina is. Because if they take the lineman, they're going with Darnold. If they take Malik Willis,
yes, Dan. Yes.
Then we're not too sure about what the future is of Darnold in Carolina. So that's why I said like this pick is big for my team to know what direction Carolina's going, and it'll determine probably who we take. And then
y'all don't want Baker?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
I tell you right now, they cut him, they will sign him the next day.
Yeah, and that's what they're waiting on.
They're not trading. They're not giving Cleveland shit for him because they know they got to get rid of him.
Yeah, no draft capital will you get from us for that dude.
You're not going to get more than a fifth or fourth. I would say a fifth round pick for Baker.
Yeah, but they ain't giving him nothing.
They ain't giving him nothing. They're gonna wait. They're gonna wait till they cut him.
He's not even getting no cigarettes. He's not getting no Becks. None of that stuff. No,
dudes are not paying him $19 million next year. That's just what the facts.
What's the commercial he does? Progressive or something? At the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Progressive. Yeah.
I can't wait. I would love for him to sign with the Steelers, and they could do the commercial where he's packing his stuff up and driving at the 144 miles to Pittsburgh. And do the next commercial at Heinz Field. That would be absolutely hilarious.
Dan, you know what your idea, man.
There you go.
I think that would be great.
Carolina, they got a lot to think about because the reality is that they still have to figure out something for McCaffrey. Because if they don't, Christian's leaving.
So you talk about McCaffrey, DA. Go ahead. For those that don't,
it's too much. They're going to kill him, man. He's not a big dude. Everybody thinks he's such a big dude. He's like 215 pounds, man.
But did you say that about Deebo Samuels doing the same thing?
He never did the same thing. Deebo ran the ball 15 times last year. You know, your man McCaffrey ran the ball 1,500 times a game. Like it's just not
running and catching.
And I didn't think he was going to sign the last contract.
He did,
right? Yeah, I didn't think I thought his father would have told him, "Dude, what are you doing? Get the hell out of there while the getting's good." Right? But I will tell you this: if they don't take an offensive lineman, which is a twofold thing, you know, for your running back and your quarterback, because we already know then the coach is on the hot seat for real. Like he's going. He's a lame duck. He's lame ducking. You know, because I think his record's like 11-23 or something like that. I'm not sure how the hell he has a job today. You know, based upon how coaches
pick is in, gentlemen.
So.
Kevin, take it away.
Your feed is probably a little bit faster than mine. Go ahead, Eric.
I don't want to.
They take Ikem Ekwonu from North Carolina State. Go ahead, DA, take it away. The O-lineman.
Best offensive lineman in the draft. So, yeah, he's a big dude. He's a scary dude. That what my man Mayo say, dancing bear. Has good feet, very strong. You know, he'll be there for the next 10 to 15 years as an all-pro because he can do it. You know, now, unfortunately, the one thing with offensive linemen and defensive linemen is that they're the easiest to be good and they're the easiest to be wrong about. So. You know.
Let me ask you about that because we picked one a couple years ago. Eric Flowers. What happened? What happened with that with the Giants and Eric Flowers? Did he go somewhere else?
Yeah, he's playing well.
He's playing well now.
Wrong team. They moved him over to the right side where he's probably a better fit at. The Giants probably, since they drafted him so high, wanted him to play left tackle, and he's probably never comfortable at left tackle. He probably told him that too. I'm pretty sure he did. And they said, "No, you can do it." Because coaches can make shit taste like sugar. You know, they can say, "All right, don't worry, we'll train you up, you'll be okay." And it just never worked for them.
Right.
So that's basically what, listen, man, coaching still matters. So
we said it. We said it all sports, right? Coaching still matters. So
I just hope that it looks like this opens the door for the Giants to pick up your man from Alabama. And I just hope what based off of what DA just said, I hope that if they do pick him, that they don't make the same mistake. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to listen to the guys that actually do the work and, not try to outsmart everybody in the room.
Sometimes you have the smartest person in the room.
He's going to be a guard, though. He's only 6'4". They're going to kick him inside to play guard.
Who's that, Neil? Did they pick him?
No,
Well, they should.
No.
Quano, okay. Yeah, he's 6'4". Quano 6'4", 310.
Yeah.
According to the stat.
Yeah,
he's a big dude, man. He's a big dude. Like I said, the Giants
not
are
big in that.
No.
Go ahead, Kev. Yeah, he's not big in that
world.
world, but yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a big dude in our world. Like, it's the Giants are on the clock. They their needs as a Giant fan, they should take a offensive lineman to pick up an offensive lineman. Hey, the Giants also said, hey, we're not picking up my man's Danny Dimes, his fifth year. They're not picking it up. So that means, Danny, you better play your ass off, sir. Or else
Danny will get a job somewhere else though, and turn things around for himself. Sometimes it's just the environment, man. So you get a bunch of coaches and different changes and stuff like that, man. I feel the same way about Baker. If Baker goes somewhere, if anybody goes anywhere where they have an idea and they've already put the legwork down as an organization for that team of where they want to go and who they want to be, they already have an identity. I think they'll be fine. You keep on going to these teams, they second guessing, third guessing on who they want to be. They changing coaches like they change draws. Come on, man.
Well, the wild card, like you just said, he's still out there. So the point is this, guys. Baker could go to the Giants too. So remember, everybody's waiting for the same thing to happen. Cleveland to cut Baker Mayfield. Then once he passes through waivers, then it's who's going to give him the money.
Is there a waiver period during this time?
No, not yet. But when they cut him, it will be. They're not going to cut him till, a minute from now, to when it's like really up against the wall. But once they do it, everybody's going to want him. Everybody
where he wants to go.
Yeah, it's going to be what he wants to do. So based upon the team and what they have there, so forth and so on. So,
but to Eric's point, I think that's probably what he's looking at for where he wants to play.
Yeah,
established coach, established organization, because he's been through the ringer, like you said, 4 or 5 different coordinators or whatever. And I think when it comes time, because they're definitely not going to keep both of those guys on the roster and pay that much money for a backup quarterback. So it's going to come down to, where does Baker want to play? Where does he think
there it is
established?
Evan Neal, Alabama, to the New York Football Giants.
The Giants picked Evan Neal, which I hopefully do. Evan Neal, 6'7", 337 pounds, from the University of Alabama. DA, thoughts on this?
That's a tackle. Basically, I mean, if you watch them all year, and you watch Bryce Young, and you watch their running game, the kid can do it all. He's a strong kid, strong hands, big thighs, and he moves. He's I think he'll do well there. Just can't put too much pressure on him right away, which means, you got to make sure that your left guard is good, and you put a tight end outside of him from time to time. But as he gets better, he can turn into one of those type of dudes. So, and that's the kid that can jump up like 4 feet in the air and split his feet on the bags. Like, he's an athlete like you probably don't. He may be your best athlete on your team right now. All right. So you can go to YouTube and look at his workouts, and you'll be like, oh shit. I didn't know cats could do that. Like, he could jump up in the air 4 feet.
At his size.
Yeah, and split his feet apart. Dog, 1 foot back, 1 foot forward. Dog, dude, That's why I like Alabama. So
I'm gonna just say this to all the teams that we will be playing the New York Football Giants this year. Wherever side Evan Neal lines up at, if Saquon is still on the team and he's in the backfield, you might want to overload on that side. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's a good bet, man. I think this is a good move for them, man. And and like you said, you saw Ike just now, who's a great lineman. This dude is bigger than Ike by like 3 inches taller and 30 pounds.
Yeah.
All right. So like this is what I'm saying. That's why I think they'll move Ike inside, to play guard. So
Gotcha.
He's a big man. He
Atlanta-
eats dudes up, man.
The Atlanta Falcons are on the clock. Some of their needs is wide receiver, running back, linebacker, and
Chris Olave.
And why do you say that?
He's probably the best wide receiver for what they need. Not the best wide receiver.
Who's the quarterback in Atlanta?
Man, I don't know.
No,
Ain't Matt Ryan.
No, Matt Ryan's going. I'm not an Atlanta fan. Atlanta fans get at me because I don't know offhand.
They don't either.
I mean, we'll try to find out right now who the Atlanta Falcons QB is. As I say that, thank goodness for the internet.
Why did it do that?
Sorry, Marcus Mariota. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Atlanta might be on the clock for.
Hey, did you see it? Did you look at the TV? He doing that split thing. That shit is crazy. The man's a bear.
Dancing bear. So we got Marcus Mariota. He's going to be the quarterback right now for the Atlanta Falcons. Eric, you had something.
Nah, I was just saying that you might see Atlanta go quarterback here if you got Marcus Mariota. I'm not trying to, because I like Marcus Mariota coming out of Oregon way back when.
Seems like it just seems right?
like. Yeah, it just seems like him and wasn't it Jeff Fisher still the coach in Tennessee when he got drafted?
Yes.
Yeah, that Jeff Fisher is as we know is hard on quarterbacks, man. I think he is the quarterback, so how Mike McCarthy is the running back. So let that sink in.
Yeah, I think Marcus Mariota can still play. I think his backup time in Vegas has done him well, because sometimes you need to step away from it,
right,
and see what it looks like. And Carr is a great quarterback and could teach him a lot. So I think based upon what also what you're trying to do, right? So if they're trying to be a running team and run the ball and do this and do that, it's okay. It's okay. We can deal with that. So you got to remember, you got two teams out here. Again, you got Cleveland and you got San Francisco with two quarterbacks that will probably be starting for two other teams by the time the season starts. So if they don't see what they like, then those will be the teams that make a move for Jimmy G or Baker Mayfield.
I was just looking at their roster, like Felipe Franks is their backup. Well, they got two QBs on the roster, Mariota and Franks. And Franks is a rookie out of Arkansas. So do they draft another quarterback or
Drake London, wide receiver from USC?
Yeah, he's good. He's number two wide receiver.
Yeah. The Falcons select at number 8 Drake London from
big boy. You can play
6'4", 219.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Go ahead, Dan. What was you saying?
I was gonna say, like, do they? I would think that they would want to pick up like a veteran.
Yeah.
And like after the draft here or something.
Well, ain't Mariota a veteran?
Yeah, but if you're gonna go with Mariota as your starter,
right,
and the other quarterback you have was a rookie.
Gotcha.
You still gotta get one more. Yeah.
You're still gonna need one more quarterback. So do you draft a quarterback? Because I don't know. To me, it seemed like they would bring somebody in that's got a little bit of experience just in case.
Franks was at LSU first.
Correct.
And then when Buddy transferred from Ohio State, to go to LSU, Franks had to go. So, and that's a buddy that plays at Cincinnati now. His name is slipping me, but he left Ohio State to go play at LSU, and then Franks had to vacate the premises. So, yeah.
Got you. See it. The Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks, they're on the clock at number 9. Some of their needs is, Russell Wilson left. He got traded. They need a quarterback. They need an O-lineman. They need a cornerback. They need a couple of rushers. DA, your thoughts on Seattle Seahawks? They rebuilding, Pete Carroll, all of that.
They're not going to say they're rebuilding, but they didn't have a running game. They probably could use a lineman or a D tackle because they lost Bobby Wagner. And they're probably going to lose homeboy too. Big boy, wide receiver. What's his name?
Metcalf.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably going to lose him too. If not before this season happens, after this season, because he's probably not going to want to stay if they don't look like them. So, and again, this offseason has repositioned the wide receiver market as far as money is concerned. So dudes are looking at Tyreek like, yeah, I can get that money. I'm better than Tyreek.
So wait a minute, and hold that thought, because Seattle's on the clock, and we'll go down it. So I was perusing through things of that nature, and now they're trying to like flip it on Deebo Samuel. Let me get to your man Deebo Samuel. So like, he rushed the ball, but he did rush the ball well, but is he really a good wide receiver? I was like, all right, stop. Why are we playing 3-card Monty now?
Yeah, I know you want to hear that.
That's not even right, man.
Who said that?
No, E. I'll tell you.
Who?
Go ahead.
No,
Do
you
they
may as
not
well
watch
say it.
football?
You may as well say it. Whoever said it, you may as well
Man, I almost cussed. Lord.
Who is it?
Come on, man. Come
your
on.
man, the herd, man. He up there trying to, splice.
Oh, well,
it.
listen.
Who?
All right.
Who?
So,
The
Colin
herd.
Cowherd, who knows nothing about football, so we're not. Yeah, he played high school quarterback for
Fuck outta
15
here.
seconds. Listen, all you gotta do is look at that kid's numbers, right? So that's all that is, right? So again, that's what I was trying to say earlier, and I live and die by this statement, man. We'll let history tell the story. History don't lie to you, fellas. They're numbers. He had this many catches, this many drops, this many touchdowns, this many this. It's not an opinion. I'm not here for your qualitative analysis. Give me the quantitative. Give me the numbers, and I'll make my decisions based on the numbers. The numbers that they messed up with in San Francisco is that they was trying to pay him like he was a running back.
Right.
When he had great wide receiver numbers. That's it. No more, no less.
You got to look who's throwing the ball too.
Yeah.
You can only throw between the numbers.
Wow. Thank you, Dan.
You got to, from the hashes to the sideline, he can't throw the ball. So every one of his catches is in the middle, and he's taking punishment every time he catches it. So, I mean, like his stats or this, that, or the other, you also got to look, how he's getting the ball.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of it is they were afraid to throw the ball. So they ran.
After 20 passes,
shut it down.
Jimmy G turns into a pumpkin. So
move the baby from the oven
stairs.
before
it's before he
burnt.
Before he puts his hand in the oven.
Ouch.
Get away from there, Jimmy. Get away from the oven. Yeah, that's what he does. So
think of it this way though. So they paid Tyreek all that money to go to Miami, right?
Okay.
Mahomes is not throwing him the ball now.
No.
Things are going to change.
So, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to, for receivers, you're kind of linked to who's throwing you the ball.
Yeah.
Or what your stats are going to be. Because there's only so much that they can only catch the ball. Someone has to throw it to them. So they're relying on that quarterback. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyreek's numbers drop this year.
This is why, Dan, I got to get this guaranteed money because he knows that. He knows that walking in the door, my numbers are going down.
Yeah, because he knows Kansas City couldn't pay him. for what they're paying Mahomes.
And also a trend is in now. Some of these players now, they get the chip and they're like, all right, let me get the rest of the money. If they get the chip early.
Oh yeah, well that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's been that way forever because the reality is this. Your legacy is it's not like the NBA, you gotta have 6 championships. All you need in the NFL is a Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl. Yeah.
And a good numerically a scout, numerical a career, X amount of catches, X amount of yards, X amount of touchdowns, and that with a Super Bowl, yeah, you good now. Oh yeah, you're going in. You're going in. Don't worry, you got your yellow jacket already made. So but I'm along the Deion Sanders line. So I'm with that. Listen, man, if they can't tell the history of the sport without saying your name, then you're a Hall of Famer. If they can leave you out, then you're a Hall of Famer.
That's a whole nother show that
I know.
that we can just do on NFL Hall of Fame, because definitely the bar has changed lately. The bar has been lowered, whether you want to believe it or not. Go check it. Go check it. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I'm just going to play devil's advocate real quick. Yeah, Tyreek Hill is not a chief anymore. He doesn't have Mahomes throwing to him anymore, but there's different ways of getting these guys the ball. And let's just remember, for a guy that mostly everybody wanted out of Miami and Tua, he did get Waddle the ball over 100 times.
Yes, he did.
And again, I'm not saying that Tua is the best of the best or he's better than Mahomes. All I'm saying is there's different schemes and different ways to get these guys the ball. If you're a good coach and you're a good offensive coordinator, you'll find a way to get your playmakers the ball.
Oh yeah, coaching matters, and like I said, I don't think Tua is a bad quarterback. And there's so many narratives that I hear now. I'm not sure where any of them come from. What did Tua do wrong for you to think he can't play? He got hurt. He got drafted hurt, and then he got hurt.
Got hurt. Seattle got their pick in. Charles Cross, offensive lineman from Mississippi State. DA, your thoughts on that pick with the Hawks?
Big kid. They need an offensive lineman. He can play. They'll show him he's a big kid. I think they'll probably
6'5", 307.
Yeah. So he's one of those. Believe it or not, he's what we call like an offensive line tweener, because he's 6'5" is a guard size, but it can also be a tackle side, depending on how long your arms are and how well you move your feet. But that's the big thing with these teams, is they can take you and you're going to find a spot. Like Lyle Collins that played for the Cowboys with the tackle. His whole college career, got to Dallas, he was playing guard, right tackle. You're going to go where they tell you to go. So you're going to go where they tell you to go on the field. So I don't – it's a good pick. Good pick, man. Big pick,
So the Jets on the clock now. The Jets, their second pick within the draft tonight. They're drafting at number 10. Some of their go ahead, DA. What do you think more did the Jets need? Need to go get another?
So the Jets went to get Sauce. They probably going to need to get some more offensive sauce, because none of the trades that anyone talked about with the Jets happened this summer. So, and because if it was going down, they got 2 picks. They could have went down already.
Right.
So, that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it.
So wide receiver, running back.
Either or, not running back. Running backs, no running backs are going that high. They'll take a receiver.
Okay.
Yeah, there are no running backs, I believe, that are what they say rated that high or that they have at that level. So no, I don't think they'll do that, but they will. They should do that. I would get another offensive, defensive lineman if it's me, but that's just what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But whatever. Charles Cross. I gotta look him up.
Yep, the Jets on the clock. Dan, let me talk to you, Eric. Your Arizona Cardinals while the Jets on the clock. Arizona, what are some of their needs? They're picking 23 here.
I mean, Kevin, you've been hearing me, and I know you probably said a couple of times, I wish this guy would shut the hell up about cornerback. Yeah, we need cornerback. We need a rusher. And we need, I say another, it wouldn't hurt to get another defensive lineman. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at either one of those, but anything other than that, I don't know. I mean, you got Kyler is going to be the guy. They went ahead and picked up his fifth-year option, so he's not going anywhere for another year. So you either need to solidify that offensive line a little bit more, because Rodney, the guy they traded from, they got from Las Vegas, the son of Rodney Hudson, he's in his 30s, so he's not going to be around forever. So you need to tighten up, but you don't. Offensively, that's the only thing that you need is an offensive lineman, or defensive. I say a rusher or a cornerback, one of those three. Anything else is ridiculous at this point.
Gotcha. The Jets pick is in. As waiting for us to come on our screen. As soon as the commissioner announces it, we will let you guys know. Hopefully, those are hanging out with us or who will listen on the podcast. This is our first time doing pretty much a draft comparison show and companion show, and it's been pretty neat of going in real time of who's picking who. We got our own draft specialist, the DA Dorian Albright on here with us. He's giving us some gems and dropping them nuggets of who's doing what with the National Football League as far as drafts. Let me ask you this question, guys, and anybody can answer it. Running backs. How come, or when did they start saying that, hey, we can pick a running back down the road? When did that start? Or has it always been? To those who are casual fans, they might want to know why we don't.
When they started cutting the lifespan of running backs. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think it's probably 2000. Somewhere around there. Where you start to see guys no longer have first round grades, like
right.
First round running back right there. But it's a supply and demand thing. So that's how that's going. There's a lot of running backs and not a lot of teams.
Wow, gotcha.
Right? So every college team probably has 4 on the roster. And we were talking about over 300 teams. There's only 32 teams in the NFL.
Gotcha.
So
to cut you off, DA, the Jets select Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from Ohio State. Your thoughts on Mr. Wilson?
Well, I said just a few minutes ago, they're going to go offense. And they went receiver. And he can play. He's actually the fastest of the 3 that came out of Ohio State this year. I don't think he's the most polished pass catcher. I think that's Chris Olave. But yeah, he can ball. He's not a bad pick. He's not bad. And he's that quote unquote. He take the top off the defense. whatever the fuck that means. He can do that. So
let me ask you this, DA. Robert Saleh, the Jets coach, former Niners defensive coordinator. What do you think of the job that he's doing with the Jets so far? Because you're a Niners fan.
It was only 1 year. I hate that we lost him. D'Amico Ryans is doing good. I got no problem with that. But he's a dude. He's a motivator, man. He's that dude on the sideline, rah, rah, rah. And once he gets offensive players that are good and he gets them amped like that, you got to find a good offensive coach, of course, but I think he's going to be good, man. I really do. I really do think he's going to be good. So, I really do. So I got no issue with what that guy's doing. I think the Jets will be average to above average. I don't know what it'll take to get them to be a Super Bowl team. So I've got no idea what it'll take for that to happen. But we'll see. I didn't think they were that bad last year. So.
Hey, we got some news here. It looks like Washington traded the pick to New Orleans. New Orleans is on the clock.
Well, can I just say that being that there were no owners in this draft, that's probably the best thing for Washington to do at this point. Yes, I'm being petty.
Hey, Dan, you got 2 minutes, but we'll get to it next week. That was funny what Eric said. Dan, real quick, what the point you wanted to bring about the Washington Commanders, and we'll get back to football here. I mean, it is football, but go ahead.
No, like I was talking to you the other day, so I saw this, I think on the McAfee show, like a YouTube rerun of his show of the day or whatever. But apparently Daniel Snyder had 2 sets of books, one for the NFL and one for the IRS. And apparently he was taking sales from his games and sliding that money into the events that were taking place at the stadium.
He's a monster.
A little creative accounting here, huh?
Yeah. So but my thing was I was just watching this and hearing them talk about it, and I'm like, how in the hell is this guy still an owner of an NFL? Forget all the other bullshit that he did before this.
He's a mobster.
With the team name and all that, and I have to laugh every time I hear somebody say their name because all I think of is the state or the commercial. We are Commanders. Bum 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 bum. I fucking laugh every time I hear that. But that just tells you how dumb that name change was. Anyway, getting back to Snyder, but I did see somewhere where I think Virginia is opening up, I think, an investigation on it. But even still, how you're screwing over 31 owners. It just amazes me that nothing has happened to him. He's still running the team like nothing happened.
This is how he'll get out of there, though, because if the rest of the owners vote him out, then he's going to go. Right? That's the only way he's going to get out, because he's going to have dudes like Jerry Jones come up there like, yo, dog, you got to go. You was holding out money on us. You got to go. So, that's all I'm saying. There's no reason for them to, forget that, man. Dude, I'm sorry. You got to go.
Yeah, I seen that dude was a clown years ago, and I got up out of there. I used to be a Washington fan, diehard from way back. The only kid in Brooklyn walking around with a Redskins starter jacket. Had fights on buses and stuff like this. I ain't gonna get into all of that, but I had to get out of here, man. Ownership, anybody that doesn't think that ownership means a lot, man, I just ain't been living, man. That's all I can say.
No, Dan, for the last 2 weeks, Dan is like that roving reporter. He said, hey, we got to talk about this. And I just totally didn't get it. And then Eric let me in the door here when he said, well, they ain't got no owners available. And then I said, well, Dan, this would be a great time to be talking about it. Daniel Snyder, he's owned the team for how long, Eric? 20-something years?
Too damn long.
Exactly.
It's the early 2000s, I believe. 99, 2000. Look it up. We'll look it up real quick. While you look it up, DA, what's the what do New Orleans need? What's the Saints? What are some of their needs?
The defensive line is pretty good. Running back is good if Kamara comes back and not hurt. I don't know what Michael Thomas is going to do, so I could say he could use a receiver, or they could probably use a linebacker. Defense is pretty good, but they're kind of getting long in the tooth. New Cam Jordan's getting older, needs some help.
Right.
The defensive line in the middle is pretty stout. They're just young guys. They keep rotating around. So I could say a linebacker as well would probably be a good spot too. But I don't know if they got any linebackers ranked that high.
Right.
That they would trade up for. So that leads me to believe they either want a wide receiver or a DB, which I don't know if they need one of them, but who knows?
Do you think that they may take a quarterback?
None of them are ranked that high. None of them are,
But I mean, they got the 11th and the 19th pick now. So
Yeah, I mean, they pulled back Jameis, right?
Right.
And the thing that Jameis is only like 26 years old. You know,
I feel
he's
like
still
he's been in the league for a minute.
yeah, he's still a
Yeah.
very young guy.
And just for clarifications, Daniel Snyder bought the then Washington Redskins for $800 million in 1999.
Okay. I thought so around the same time. Yeah, I thought about it. The Redskins, the Commanders are a mess. Yes, that commercial is awful. They just don't know how to get right. I thought they was, when they made the playoffs last year with my man, what's his man? Chase Young, the defensive lineman. I thought he was doing some things. It looks like they might have regressed this past year. But Daniel Snyder, he's definitely a problem. And I'm just shocked, like DA said, that they have not confronted Mr. Snyder on his owner obligations and what's going on in their camp. And I'm pretty sure
they will now.
Yeah, we'll get the leak tapes and the videotapes and all that stuff of what's going on with that. So, DA, your Niners, y'all don't have a pick this, do y'all?
Not in the first round.
Not the first round.
Not to the third round. So I'm not watching. If I shoot, I'm about to be out of here now. It's 9:30.
Yeah, we're about to be on here for another 5
Can I ask a question real quick, being that New Orleans is on the clock?
Yes.
I know they paid Taysom Hill. But if I'm somebody like Seattle or any of these other teams that still need a quarterback, like the Commander, never mind. If I'm the Seattle Seahawks, DA, would you, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, would you call New Orleans up and see what's the asking price for Mr. Jameis?
Jameis ain't going nowhere. They would let go of Taysom Hill first. And I know they paid Taysom, but Jameis is the one that played last year. He was the one that started.
Right.
So they like him. They Taysom is a gimmick quarterback. He's a great athlete, runs real fast, doesn't throw the ball real well. So he's a little smaller Tim Tebow. For what they want to do, they want Jameis. And they probably didn't want him first. Everybody wanted Deshaun Watson first, right? But when Deshaun was gone, they just called Jameis and was like, "Hey, girl, I wasn't looking at that other girl. I was thinking about you, baby." So they called Jameis on back. Jameis was having a heck of a season when he got hurt. Like he probably would have been all pro this year because that's what his numbers look like. He's throwing 3-4 touchdowns a game. He's killing them until he got hurt. So I guess they'll wait and see. They're not changing the offense. You got a new coach in there, so it makes it easier for the new coach to not, have to do so much work because we're doing the same thing we did last year. That's what we're doing. So
got you. New Orleans pick is in. New Orleans picks Chris Olave from Ohio State.
Damn! Pay that man. Pay that.
Why you think the Jets didn't pick Olave over Wilson? You're muted, D.A.
Sorry.
That's $20. You muted twice. That's $50.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not think Olave is more of the Michael Thomas that's hurt.
Right.
So what they're doing is hedging their bets. So if he doesn't come back right, they got a cat that's fast enough, runs good routes, catches everything you throw at him, and doesn't fumble. The Jets, they got that guy. His name is Braxton. Was it Braxton Berrios?
Yes.
From Miami. They got that guy that runs, every route, catches everything, hard-nosed dude. Boom, he's good. They need that speed guy. So Wilson's a speed guy. He's just faster than Olave is. Olave is good hands, though. Catch everything you throw to him. He's gonna do pretty well out there. He's gonna be able to play day one. So he's gonna play day one. Especially with not knowing what Michael Thomas is what his injury thing looks like and I don't know if he was hurt there in the last season, but he didn't play anyway. So there's a bunch going on with Michael Thomas. So,
well, Detroit and Minnesota look like they switched. They traded. Detroit's now on the clock. What's DA? What is Detroit's needs? Again,
probably they
sure.
got a good running back.
Defense.
I would say offensive lineman. They got to keep that kid standing up, man.
Yeah.
You're giving Goff a lot of money. The defense played last year. Like I watched a lot of Detroit games.
I did too. And
the defense balled the hell out last year. I
remember the game they played against Dan's team, the Steelers, where they tied, where they actually should have won that game.
They should have beat us.
Yeah, because y'all guys came back. That was the Lions got their pick in, man. We got a few minutes left. We got about 3 minutes left. Man, this has been fun, man. We've actually been on here 2 hours, but this has been really great going back and forth with the draft. We got our own draft expert, Dorian, the DA Auburn, on here giving his draft wisdom and draft picks and draft gems. We got here the Lions just got a pick in. Houston's next. While we're doing that, we'll do our parting shots. Starting with Dan. Dan, what you got for us tonight?
Great show, fellas. It was good to see everybody again. Getting geared up, for playoffs coming up. I'm excited for that. I want to give a shout out to Miss Marsh. I forgot to last time. Wanted to say hello. But like I said, everybody, we got the playoffs coming up. The NBA playoffs are moving a little bit farther in, so the games should be getting better, more intense in that area. Wait to see what happens here with the draft with my team at pick 20. But, just everybody be kind and love each other. Be good.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay.
Got here. The angry one. What you got for us, man? Sorry about that.
Oh, ain't no problem. As always, great show tonight. This was a good one, man. I mean, all of them are good ones, but this one, covering the draft and everything, man, live this was dope, man. Anyway, we'll talk about that other stuff off air. As always, Dan, DA, D Doug, Kev, man, it's always good to have y'all up here, man. Always, even though we up here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, man, it's always good to see you guys and break bread over sports and all this other stuff, man. At the end of the day, as I always say every week, man, it costs you absolutely nothing. Gas prices finally coming down. The cost of milk is going up, but guess what? The cost of being kind is still at zero. So go ahead, be kind to your fellow man, woman, and child. Hopefully things will work out in your favor. And we'll see you beautiful people back here next week, 7:30 sharp. Thursday, Sports Chasers.
You know it. DA, what you got for us? You muted again. That's
$75, man. We making bank tonight.
Oh, you need a payment plan, sir. You still muted.
That's $100. That's $100.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, defense wins championships. Working hard wins championships. It's going to be good to see the NHL playoffs.
Yes.
Especially being that ESPN is back on board. So, you be able to actually turn from channel to channel and watch different games, it's been a while since we've been able to do that because I don't have the NHL channel. So can't afford that. So the draft is always fun, man. It's good to see these young kids coming out here making money, doing what they do. Everybody, blessings, peace, and wise decisions. Don't make no decisions that's not wise, please.
That's a great one. Real quick, DA, we got our last pick in before we go. Jameson Williams, Detroit selects him, wide receiver out of Bama. Thoughts?
He's fast. He's the take the roof off the whatever guy. Whatever they say it, like he can do it. He's really good. Real talk. If he didn't get hurt in the national championship game, Alabama could have won another one.
Yes,
that's how good the kid is, man. And he's coming back off the injury, and You look like you're in a singing group now, though. But yeah, but yeah, he can play, man. He can play. He catch that thing. He can get hit. He doesn't drop the ball. But NFL hits and college hits are different hits.
Right.
So, whenever I talk to my NFL dudes, they're like, "Yo, D," and I talked to Brenton Buckner like last week. He's like, "Yo,
shout out to Brenton."
Yeah, NFL hits are hard. So
Carolina Panther.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steeler. First thing, he was a Steeler. He was on what I call, and Dan, we can argue about this, might have been the second best Pittsburgh Steeler defense of all time. Yeah,
I would agree.
Him, Brinson, Big Kirkland, Chad Brown, Deion Figures, Myron Bell, who's my man? The guys with the Purdue. Carnell Lake was on that team, and damn, what's dude's name? He ended up playing with the Ravens at the end, and it's off the tip of my tongue. Yeah, Woodson. Come on, man. That I would believe is their best secondary, even on top of the Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu.
I would agree with that.
With Ike Taylor and them, because they were good too. But
yeah,
dude,
I couldn't catch.
Whoa, boy, that team, and they hit, man. Big Dawson in the middle. Yo, Kirkland was 300 pounds playing middle linebacker, and they had crazy Kevin Green on the steroids. Come on, man. Listen, man.
Yeah, that team was crazy.
That team was very serious, and I only get that from Madden because I stopped being a Steelers fan once I got with the Niners, but on Madden, yeah, that's the team I played with. So, and they had who was the running back? Bam Morris. Come on, stop.
Bam Morris. Wow,
stop it, man. Yeah, that team there. It don't beat the '70s teams, but for a team that didn't win the Super Bowl, stop it. Yeah, that was your boy did that, Dan.
Yeah, that was Bobby O'Donnell.
Bobby O'Donnell, man. Let me get my part shots. Great show as always. This is a really special show. This is the first time we have actually done it where we did like a draft comparison. We hope to do it bigger and better. We are going to do it bigger and better, and maybe next year, we might be at the draft place actually doing that. That would be absolutely freaking dope.
That's the goal.
That's the goal to pull that off, man. But it's been a great week. Thanks to everybody that came through. Thanks to the guys on the show, always bringing the noise with their expertise with sports. Dan with the hockey as always. Appreciate you, brother. The DA with his football expertise and being our draft guru, man. Yo, you hear it in his voice. He loves this stuff. So we're thankful for DA and putting DA on the spot, man. But, DA going to have a couple, other things coming up here with the social media stuff to kind of get some of these teams, some of their draft ABCs or their marking or whatever they marked that they got in the drafts. So, because, we still got 6 rounds to go. What rounds did they go up to? I'm sorry.
It goes
7 rounds, but
7 rounds.
Then you got compulsory, and there's a bunch of things there. NFL does a lot of weird things.
So look out for DA with his the draft homework and see how some of these teams did in the next upcoming days, man. But this has been a real special show, and appreciate that D-Dub had the run. Thankful for him, and hey, that's what it is, man. But on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren. Hey, before I say all that, forgot, all the social media stuff. We're on all of them, TikTok, Facebook. What else we're on? Eric, Twitter.
iHeart. Yeah, whenever
wherever everything.
Yeah, wherever you can. Yeah, whenever you can look at and look for a podcast, we're there. I don't think we've left anyone out.
And we are live on YouTube every week.
7:30 sharp, as my man, the angry one, always says, man. But there goes the music. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O. Warren, your host and moderator, Dorian, the DA Albert, and James, the angry one, Warren, Darryl D. Warren, Dan, our hockey dude, man. Hey, this is the Sports Chasers podcast, man. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. See y'all next week. Peace.
Like, share, and subscribe, people.
Like, share, subscribe. There you go. Call to action. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.